The Cat 797F was the standard at every major mine on Earth. 400 short tons of payload, a diesel engine pushing close to 4,000 horsepower. From the iron ore pits of the Pilbara to the copper open cuts at Chuquicamata, if you ran the world's biggest haul truck fleet, you ran yellow. But across the last 15 years, a name out of southern Germany has been quietly killing that dominance. Liebherr T64, Liebherr T184, two ultra-class haul trucks now stacking up on the order books at BHP, Rio Tinto, Fortescue Metals Group, and Antamina. The Cat 797F is still hauling ore today, but the new orders stopped coming, and this is the story of how that happened. In 2002, Caterpillar rolled the Cat 797B off the assembly line in Decatur, Illinois. It was the largest mechanical drive haul truck ever built, 3,400 horsepower out of a Cat 3524B engine, 380 short tons of payload. A single tire on the Cat 797B stood 13 feet tall and weighed 12,000 pounds. For the next decade, the Cat 797 family ran the show. The Cat 797B at Syncrude Aurora Oil Sands in Alberta hauled tar sand around the clock. The Cat 797F at the Bingham Canyon Copper Pit in Utah moved overburden in temperatures from -30 to 100 degrees. The Cat 797F at the Escondida Copper Mine in the Atacama Desert hauled ore at 13,000 feet of elevation. The Cat 797F at Mount Whaleback Iron Ore in Western Australia worked the Pilbara through 50-degree summers. If you were a procurement manager at BHP, Rio Tinto, Fortescue Metals Group, Anglo-American, or Codelco in those years, the Cat 797F was the default specification. The yellow iron decision was made before the meeting started. Cat dealers had the global service network. Cat parts moved through every major mining region on the planet. Cat engineers walked every pit in the Pilbara, the Andes, and the Atacama Desert. The dominance was structural. Caterpillar built the Cat 797F in the United States and shipped it through dealer principals like Finning in Chile, Westrac in Western Australia, Toromont in Canada, and Caterpillar Mining North America. The dealer principals fronted the financing, the warranty, and the field service. Mining operators bought the Cat service relationship as much as they bought the Cat truck. In 2010, Caterpillar still owned the ultra-class haul truck market. The first crack in the Cat 797F monopoly opened up at a copper-zinc mine high in the Peruvian Andes. Antamina sits at 14,000 feet, owned by a joint venture of BHP, Glencore, Teck, and Mitsubishi. The ore body is one of the largest copper-zinc deposits on the planet, and in 2004, Antamina took delivery of the first Liebherr T282B haul trucks. The Liebherr T282B was something Caterpillar did not build. 363-ton payload, a General Electric AC drive electric powertrain hauling copper-zinc ore uphill out of an Andean pit. The Liebherr T282B used a diesel engine to spin a generator that powered electric wheel motors with no torque converter and no mechanical drivetrain like the Cat 797F. For mining engineers at Antamina, the math was straightforward. Steep grades, long haul cycles, heavy ore. The Liebherr T282B handled the Andean elevation profile better than a mechanical drive truck because the AC motors delivered torque without transmission losses. Brake retarder performance on the downgrade was stronger. Maintenance hours on the powertrain dropped. The Antamina deployment did not kill Caterpillar overnight. The Cat 793 still ran at Antamina. The Cat 797F still ran at the world's biggest copper pits, but Antamina was the first major mine to publicly place its biggest haul truck order with Liebherr instead of Cat. Other mining operators read that procurement decision in the trade press. Phelps Dodge studied it, Codelco studied it, BHP studied it. The era of sole source, Cat had cracked. Then the 2008 financial crisis hit the global mining sector. Copper crashed from $4 a pound toward $1.50. Iron ore froze. Coal collapsed. BHP halted capital projects across the Pilbara. Rio Tinto cut billions in spending across iron ore and copper. Anglo-American pulled back across South Africa and Chile. Mining capex contracted across the industry. Procurement teams at every major miner had to defend every dollar to a board of directors. The old default of buying entirely Cat fleets stopped making sense. Boards started asking why a sole source procurement strategy was acceptable when commodity prices could collapse overnight. The answer, across BHP, Rio Tinto, Fortescue Metals Group, and Anglo-American, was a doctrine called fleet diversification. Procurement teams started splitting orders across CAT, Komatsu, and Liebherr. Running 3 brands kept all 3 dealer networks competing on price, parts availability, and service response. Vendor leverage shifted from the manufacturer toward the mining operator. For the CAT 797F, fleet diversification was a downgrade. The CAT 797F went from default specification to one option of 3. Komatsu started winning haul truck orders at Rio Tinto Pilbara because Komatsu had a working autonomous haul system that CAT did not. Liebherr started winning haul truck orders at copper mines in the Andes because Liebherr had AC drive trucks at higher payload classes. Caterpillar did not stop selling haul trucks after 2008. The CAT 797F still moved units globally, but the unit volume at the biggest mining customers stopped growing. Each replacement order at BHP and Rio Tinto became a competitive bid, and CAT started losing those bids more often than the Decatur factory floor wanted to admit. The diversification doctrine became permanent. Once a mine ran Komatsu and Liebherr shops alongside CAT, sole source CAT procurement was off the table forever. If you operate heavy iron and you want the deeper story behind global mining truck procurement, hit subscribe. Keysoup covers this every week. Now back to the Pilbara reorder cycle. In 2017, Liebherr launched the Liebherr T264 at the global mining trade shows. The Liebherr T264 sat in the 240 short-ton payload class, smaller than the CAT 797F, bigger than the Komatsu 830E, built at Liebherr Mining Equipment, Newport News in Virginia, with components shipped from Liebherr's plant in Kirchdorf, Germany. That Newport News facility has been building Liebherr mining trucks on American soil for decades. Plenty of American operators still do not know Liebherr manufactures haul trucks in Virginia. The Liebherr T264 hit the market exactly when BHP and Fortescue Metals Group were placing the largest haul truck reorders of the decade in the Pilbara. The Pilbara iron ore mines run on volume. Mount Whaleback, South Flank, Yandy, Cloudbreak, and Christmas Creek move hundreds of thousands of tons of iron ore per day across the Western Australian outback. Fortescue placed orders for the Liebherr T264 in autonomous configuration at the Solomon Iron Ore Hub. BHP placed orders for the Liebherr T264 at the Eastern Ridge and Mining Area C operations. Rio Tinto evaluated the Liebherr T264 against the CAT 797F and the Komatsu 930E for replacement fleets at Yandakugana Iron Ore. The orders kept landing on Liebherr's side of the table. Driving the procurement shift was not just the truck. Liebherr was family-owned. The Liebherr family ran the mining truck division without quarterly shareholder pressure. They could spend on research without justifying it to Wall Street. CAT could not. CAT had to defend on every product line to public market analysts. The Liebherr T264 carried that structural advantage into every Pilbara bid. The other procurement battle CAT lost in this period was autonomous haul trucks. Rio Tinto opened the autonomous era at the West Angeles iron ore mine in the Pilbara in 2008. The truck Rio Tinto chose was the Komatsu 930E running on the Komatsu autonomous haulage system. Komatsu had spent more than a decade developing the Komatsu 930E autonomous haulage system at the Codelco Gabriela Mistral copper mine in Chile and at the Rio Tinto West Angeles pit in Western Australia. By 2013, when Caterpillar finally rolled out CAT Command for hauling on the CAT 793F, the Komatsu 930E had already been hauling autonomously in Western Australia for 5 years. 5 years of operating data, 5 years of safety statistics, 5 years of optimization on the Pilbara haul roads. Mining operators choosing autonomous fleets in 2013 looked at Komatsu's deployment record and at CAT's first commercial release. The procurement decision wrote itself. Rio Tinto kept ordering Komatsu 930E autonomous haulage system trucks across the Pilbara. Fortescue Metals Group ran an autonomous trial with Caterpillar at the Solomon Hub, then expanded the autonomous fleet using Liebherr T264 trucks instead. BHP went hybrid, splitting autonomous orders between Komatsu and Caterpillar but giving Komatsu the iron ore volume share. Caterpillar's autonomous deployment count grew through the late 2010s. The CAT 793F autonomous and the CAT 794 AC autonomous landed orders at lithium mines in Australia and copper mines in Arizona. But the volume gap with Komatsu and autonomous never closed. Komatsu had won the first procurement window. In mining, the operator that already runs your software keeps ordering your trucks. The procurement collapse at the ultra-class level closed in 2012 when Liebherr launched the Liebherr T284. The Liebherr T284 carried a 363-ton payload. That matched the Cat 797F payload class directly. Same physical class, same hull cycle role, different drivetrain philosophy. The Liebherr T-284 used the same AC drive electric architecture Liebherr had proven at Antamina with the Liebherr T-282B. At Boddington Gold and Copper Mine in Western Australia, Newmont placed an order for a Liebherr T-284 fleet replacement. At Antamina in Peru, Liebherr T-284 trucks rolled in alongside the older Liebherr T-282B fleet. At Newmont's Cripple Creek and Victor Mine in Colorado, Liebherr T-284 trucks started showing up next to Cat 797Fs for direct fleet comparison. The Liebherr T-284 was the moment Cat lost the Symbolic argument. Caterpillar could no longer claim that the Liebherr trucks were a smaller payload alternative. Liebherr now had a truck at the exact ultra-class size where Caterpillar had built its dominance, and Liebherr was building the Liebherr T-284 in Newport News, Virginia, on American soil, with American workers shipping to American mines. Caterpillar's marketing department could not sell the Made in America story anymore. The Cat 797F was made in Decatur. The Liebherr T-284 was made in Newport News. Both trucks carried American assembly stickers. A clarification matters here. The Cat 797F is still hauling ore today at major mines around the world. Cat 797F units that were ordered in 2010 and 2014 and 2017 still run shifts at Bingham Canyon, Escondida, and Black Thunder Coal Mine in Wyoming. This is not a story about Cat trucks disappearing from job sites overnight. This is a story about new purchase orders. Over the last 5 to 7 years, the new ultra-class haul truck order at the world's biggest mines has gone to Liebherr or Komatsu more often than to Caterpillar. The existing Cat fleet keeps running until end of life. The replacement order goes to a different brand. That is what a procurement collapse looks like in heavy iron. Slowly, then all at once in the order books. The same pattern is now visible in construction equipment. Volvo loaders winning orders against Cat. Liebherr cranes winning orders against Grove. Komatsu dozers winning orders against the D11. JCB backhoes pulling jobs from Cat across U.S. construction sites. Hitachi excavators winning orders at coal operations in Wyoming. American mining was the leading indicator. American construction is the next chapter. And the dealer network advantage Caterpillar built in the 1970s is no longer the moat it used to be. If this story matters to you, hit subscribe so the next breakdown lands in your feed. Next week, Quisup digs into why Volvo construction equipment is winning loader orders against Caterpillar across Europe and now North America. The dealer war is bigger than the iron. See you then.